What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about our latest recruit in Esava Ratugolea, who has joined Port Adelaide after finally being traded from Geelong. He joins Port after we traded picks 25, 76 and 94 in this year's draft, leaving us with, at this stage, no draft picks, which is fantastic. Quite funny, that is, to be honest, but we're just going to talk a bit about the trade and about what Esava can bring to the Port Adelaide Football Club. Obviously, we know the backstory with Esava. He's been trialled as a forward, trialled as a ruck, and now as a backman, and has been found to be quite prolific down there, in and out of the Geelong side throughout his time. Chris Scott loved him. Everyone else, not so much. Didn't have that faith in him. And Ken Hinkley and the recruiting staff definitely see something in Esava that I think Chris Scott sees as well. So it's going to be fascinating to see what he can do at the footy club next year. Bit about the deal. Now, obviously, we know we've targeted this man for the last 18 months. He was wanted by Port at the end of last year, out of contract, offered pick 33, didn't eventuate. Geelong held firm. We got to this trade period. 10 days we've waited. 10 days. And finally, picks 25, 76 and 94 were enough. Andrew Mackey's been sitting there for 10 days going, right, the only way this deal is going to get done is if we have a picks 76 and 94. What the hell are you doing, brother? Just accept pick 25. I know 76 and 94 will either be used as points or sweeteners and other deals perhaps, or just even ending up being, not used at all, or used as late picks. I don't know what you can do with 76 and 94. But overall, Ratugolea joins Port Adelaide finally, and that sort of deal has finally been done, which I'm glad about because it's been grueling, being back and forth with the Cats, similar to the one with Essendon and Brendan Zerk-Thatcher. So at least one of those have been done and dusted, which is good. Esava, bit of background on him. He's played 75 games, kicked 38 goals in his career, which has been spanning over the last 5 years. Since he debuted in round 1, 2018 against the D's. He's 197 centimetres. He's a good 102 kilos, which is big and bulky and strong, and he can hold his feet, so he's going to be really good as a defender, which we've seen him. He can do the intercept marking, can play one-on-one. He's a very solid footballer and definitely can go underrated a little bit. I think consistency in his game is going to be something that really helps himself and Port Adelaide. Obviously, we've seen our lack of defenders that we've had that have been able to play that one-on-one position. And even if we've had them, they've been undersized or haven't been able to be consistently in form. So hopefully Esava brings that. Now, we've targeted this man. Obviously, have a lot of faith in him. Can he be what we all want him to be and what the club expect him to be? And that's that piece in defence where it sews up 2 or 3 goals. It gets us a couple of extra wins and gets us to that illustrious final day in September. I don't know. And I don't see the big hype that a lot of people might or might not see. I'm a little bit reserved on him. I don't think it was worth this pain and suffering of 10 days of going, oh yeah, he's not going. Oh yeah, we're not accepting this deal. I don't see the value there. But I do see what he can bring, and that is a versatile defender. There is a value in some ruck stock there. He can play in the ruck if need be. Obviously, we won't want him to do that. We'll prefer him to be down in defence, holding out that big key forward that opposition will have. And I think being alongside Alir and hopefully Zerk-Thatcher and McKenzie and Cleary, if he breaks into the side, it's going to create a lot more versatility and flexibility for positioning and matchups. And Alir loves to play that free-flowing intercept defender. Brendan Zerk-Thatcher can play that role as well. Obviously, McKenzie and Cleary, they're lockdown one-on-one defenders. So we're going to have a lot more versatility and flexibility when it comes to playing down back in those matchups. And defensively as a structure, it's going to hold a lot stronger in those positions and in those contests. So I'm very glad we've got Esava in the end. Looking at a bit of a background, he's obviously only played football for the last 12 years. Fijian descent. He was born in New South Wales. I loved his Wikipedia, by the way. At the bottom it said he's now gone to the Brisbane Broncos. So whoever's been playing with his Wikipedia has definitely thought this is funny. But yeah, so I'm very glad we got the deal done. That's 3 deals done now with Jordan Sweet, Soldo, as well to complement him. So we're going after men, big men to play in Port Adelaide side. No smalls, just big men. So we'll see how it all progresses, and obviously this does mean that we might have a bit more flexibility on the trade table in next year as well with some defenders and stuff like that, and who knows, we're definitely going to have flexibility in the draft, but yeah, it's going to be fun to see how Esava plays in Port Adelaide colours next year, but I'm definitely very much excited to have the prospect of Esava Ratugolea potentially be one of the premier defenders in the comp. Fingers crossed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the trade, Port fans. What you think of Esava Ratugolea joining Port Adelaide this year? He's going to be no contract details as such on how long he'll be and what he's staying for and what he's paid, blah blah blah. But I'm sure that will come out eventually. But what he can provide this football club is got a question mark, but we can see the potential, and I think that's enough for me to say, you know what, let's go all in, and hopefully he makes a difference in 2024. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way across the rest of the season and into next year as well. My name's Anthony, and as always, come ThePear.